Hi everyone, it's me and welcome to London. So something I have never done in my 9 years of living in the UK is go to the Shakespeare's Globe Theatre to see Shakespeare. And that is what we're doing today. So I've looked before, and a lot of times they put on some like kind of obscure plays. And I happened to look this year and saw that for the 2025 schedule, they're doing Romeo and Juliet, which I actually know. So in school in Canada, you have to do Shakespeare. It kind of depends what play you end up doing. But for us, I want to say grade 9, grade 10 maybe, we did Romeo and Juliet. So I thought, how cool to go to the Shakespeare Globe Theatre to see Romeo and Juliet. So that is what we're doing today. I'm super excited. I've come into the city a little bit early because I thought we could do a little bit of sightseeing if we have time, if it doesn't rain, which that kind of looks like it's gonna rain. But as a Canadian, the idea of going to, I don't know, a historical theater like this, we do have historical theaters, absolutely. And we have theaters that technically are older than this, because this, of course, is the rebuilt version after the original burned down. But the history around the theater I think is so exciting. And we're actually going to see Shakespeare, which is, I am so pumped. Now, I purposely didn't look up anything about the play. I didn't want any spoilers. Obviously I know the story, but what I thought was really cool is that they're doing Romeo and Juliet, but as a Western. So that is as much as I know. It's a Western, it's Romeo and Juliet, it's at the Globe Theatre. I'm super excited. Now, in terms of price, so this was actually not cheap. When my mom came to visit me, Christmas last year, I guess, we went to the West End and I got discounted tickets because I booked early, and I want to say they were £50 a person. This is 71 pounds per person, which is not cheap. And I splurged. I bought the 3-pound cushion because of course they are wooden. It's a wooden theater, wooden seats, I guess. We're gonna find out. But I paid extra to get a cushion, but we also got really good seats. So I'm here with a couple of friends. You can get really cheap tickets where you're just standing. I can't. I'm too old. So I thought, this could be a once in a lifetime. Hopefully not, but it could be. So I splurged. We got really good seats. We're on the third tier, so the upper tier, and we're the front row. And we got cushions. But yeah, you can get super cheap tickets to stand. The show's 3 hours. I can't stand for 3 hours. I don't even like to stand at a concert. So while we're waiting for the show, it's a beautiful sunny day. Hopefully that rain over there, is it still there? Hopefully that rain doesn't actually turn into anything. But I thought while we're here early, we are gonna get some brunch, because of course. But I thought we would do just a tiny bit of sightseeing, and I wanna see the site of the original Globe Theatre, which from what I can see online is just around the corner. So let's do that. All right, so just down the road, literally 4 minutes, we are here. So this is where the original Globe Theatre stood, and I was actually kind of surprised, not very long. So from 1598 to 1613, this is where the original Globe stood. And I gotta warn you, this is it's a car park. It's a car park and it's a bunch of flats. Cannot believe it. Imagine living here, the original site of the Globe Theatre, and you just get a bunch of weird tourists like me coming here and taking pictures. I cannot believe it. I wonder what the price of rent is. So this is the original spot. Not much to see other than a couple of plaques and a fence and flats. Just absolutely wild. I think this so perfectly encapsulates London. We have this crazy amount of history, right? The original Globe Theatre stood here. Shakespeare, history, British. And it's just a bunch of people living here, it's everyday life. And you see that so much around the city. So while we've been stood here, a couple of minutes, a bunch of people have come by taking photos, taking videos. And then there's just everybody else who's yeah, I just live here. This is my day-to-day life. And I feel like you see that a lot around London, but for a Canadian, this is so weird. I can't imagine just having a flat here. The history, my little Canadian brain can't handle it. So this is the original spot. And when I did a little bit of a Google before getting here, apparently there is a statue nearby. So I thought, well, we got time before brunch. I'm super excited for brunch. I'll tell you what, the Brits know how to do a good brunch. While we've got a little bit of time, let's go see if we can find the Shakespeare statue. I don't really know what it looks like, to be honest, so we're gonna find out. Okay, so I forgot it's a Sunday, and churches are usually in operation on Sundays. So we had a quick peek. We were allowed to go in and look, but obviously not film or take photos or be annoying. So it's a beautiful cathedral, and I don't think I've ever actually been inside before, so that was pretty cool, but I just can't show you. But we are gonna be like a scooch late for our brunch, and that's it. So I'll see you on the other side. Okay, so we've had brunch. Lovely place, the Table Cafe, never heard of it, but they had lots of reviews, and it's only like a 6-minute walk to the theater, so it seems perfect. Super busy, but then it is a Sunday, so maybe that, who knows? Either way, it looks very popular. So we're off to the theater. We've got our tickets. We'll get our cushions, and I'm really excited. Anywho, that's it for me, and I will check back in with you guys afterwards. I'm super excited. It doesn't look like it's gonna rain, which is also very exciting. I don't know. Take a drink every time I say exciting. All right, no more talking. I'll see you on the other side. Hi everyone. Well, I hope you can hear me. It's a little bit busy, as we've just finished, and honestly it was really good. So it was like the classic Shakespeare dialogue, but the Western kind of element really worked well. All of the costumes were Western. They did have this little like very short Western hoedown, which of course is not original, but it just works really well. I will say about 3 hours with an intermission in the middle, the seats, my God, the seat, the butt is about half the size of what I would consider to be a normal seat. So you're kind of like perched the whole time. So just do with that information what you will. If you're interested in seeing a show there, I think you should, but you will be perched. I thought all of the cast was really good. Mercutio in particular was really good. And it was actually quite funny, which of course the original, not supposed to be funny, but their mannerisms and the way they would say the lines and yeah, just their presence. It was actually really funny, and I do think it helps. It doesn't feel boring when it's funny. Maybe that's just my opinion. But I thought it was really good. They do use guns, which was fun. Guns is fun, you know what I mean. So we actually had some like gun fights and like the gunpowder sound and stuff. But I also found this is the only play that I've ever seen where the set is really non-existent. It's really just the flat stage with a couple of chairs, and that's it. It's a scooch windy. Let's see if we can get out of the wind. It did feel very intimate and like cozy compared to other plays that I've seen where you had people standing on the ground. People were leaning on the stage. They had their arms up on the stage, and the actors would interact with them. They touched them. They had areas of like where the areas, that's not what I want. There were sections where the actors would actually be in the audience and interacting with the audience and stuff. And yeah, just really interesting. It's not something that you really see at, you know, a West End. And sometimes they might like go in the aisles, but this was like really, I don't know, intimate. In the audience, touching people, pointing at people, interacting with people. It was just very interesting and something a little bit different. Now, is it worth the 72, 73 pounds? I think for the experience, it is. If you are into history, but also, you know, the theater, and you want something that's a little bit different than the West End, because you could go to the West End for much cheaper, but you don't get that element of being at the Globe and having the open roof, right? It's just open to the air. I really had a lot of fun, and I'm so sorry I couldn't show you any of it, but if you're able to get tickets, I think Romeo and Juliet is running for the rest of the summer, I want to say. A matinee was super nice. It's a little bit helpful where I don't live in London. I still got quite a journey to get home, so I didn't want to do like a 7 p.m. show, but being able to come and have brunch, have the show, we're gonna go to a restaurant, just have some drinks and some snacks. I think I could do with some snacks, and then make the long journey home. But I would go again. I would definitely do Shakespeare specifically rather than perhaps just like a random show, because you have that connotation, you know, Shakespeare's Globe. But it is good to know it is uncomfortable. That entire thing I was uncomfortable for, so if you are gonna do it, the cushion helps, but not much. Now, what's my final verdict? I really liked it. It is uncomfortable and it is expensive, but I think it is worth it. It's worth it for the experience. It's something different than a traditional theater ticket or a traditional theater experience. Anyway, I think that's all I wanted to say. This has probably been a little bit of a mess. But thank you so much for watching. If you would like to watch something else, how about a solo trip? Recently, I went to the Tower of London and I had an incredible time, and more British history. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, bye.